The carbine is a light shoulder weapon designed to take the place of the pistol, which is normally carried by officers and service units. It only weighs 5 3/4 pounds, including sling, and a fully loaded 15-round clip. Although smaller and lighter than the M1 rifle, the operation is very similar.
The Chiappa M19 is a replica of the M1 carbine. While many companies are coming out with replica firearms, what makes this stand out is that it's chambered for 9mm Luger. 9mm pistol ammunition is much more reliable than .22 long rifle, since it is a centerfire round and not a rimfire. And of course 9mm has much more knockdown power than a .22, yet it's probably the next cheapest round to shoot after .22 long rifle. And then of course there's the availability of 9mm. You'll be able to find it on the shelves when you can't find .22 long rifle. So the whole idea of a replica rifle chambered in 9mm totally makes sense to me. Unlike the replica .22s that use very expensive plastic OEM magazines, the Chiappa uses steel, long-lasting Beretta 92 FS magazines and actually comes with two 10-rounders. The front sight was originally very wide and blocky. It was so bad I had a machine shop mill a point onto it. The rear sight isn't so bad. It is made out of an aluminum alloy. It's adjustable for windage and elevation. The detents seem to be strong enough to keep the sights in place once you set them. The safety is only on the right side, but is very simple and intuitive to operate. Unlike the real M1 carbine, this uses a very crude blowback system. In order for this to function, it uses a combination of a very strong return spring, but also a massive block of steel as part of the bolt assembly. When you shoot the rifle, most of the felt recoil is from this assembly slamming back and hitting the receiver. To me, it reminds me of a slide hammer. Now the bolt operating spring is very strong, as I mentioned. We'll measure the amount of force needed to pull the bolt back and also lock the hammer back. So we need 26 pounds initially and 17 pounds of force to hold the bolt in place. Now let's compare this to a gas-operated SKS rifle. I didn't have a real M1 carbine to compare it to, but this is still very revealing. This much larger caliber rifle only took 17 pounds of force to initially charge it and only 12 pounds to hold the bolt open. So weaker shooters may have problems operating the Chiappa. You would think that a replica firearm would have the same functions as the original, but the Chiappa lacks the simple components needed to lock back the bolt after the last round is shot. And on top of that, it lacks a manual lockback ability. Even a Ruger 1022 has that. So in order to lock the bolt back for cleaning or to make the rifle safe at the range, this is the solution. Stuff a rubber block in the operating rod. And that is just ridiculous and unacceptable. I took the rifle to the range, found a stranger, asked him to shoot it, and we'll see how it performs at 25 yards.
I'd show off one of those plates.
I think when it's 107 and you're...
They have air-conditioned cars.
Quiet.
Yeah, that is a stiff trigger. Oh, the orange. Oh, yeah. Dead center, man. You hit pretty good. Try a headshot. Neck.
Don't shoot any higher.
No, I'm not. There you go. Right in the mouth.
Wow. Okay.
easy enough to clear.
Start walking and doing it. Damn, start shooting.
Are you running and gunning? Oh, we got a jam. Oh, we got another jam.
Double feed.
This ain't looking good. Nope, didn't make it. Okay, pull the bolt back. Does that feel like it's a little hard to pull back?
Yeah, it's a little stiff.
You think a kid or a woman would have difficulty with that?
Yeah, it's just a little stiff. It's kind of rough.
The break-in period for this rifle is supposed to be about 150 rounds. However, even after 500 rounds that we've shot through it, we're still experiencing an unacceptable number of failure to feeds. Lots of jamming. In this next segment, we'll shoot 5 different brands of ammunition and see how compatible it is with different brands and types of ammunition.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, yeah, safety.
No bolt lock back.
Nope.
The Chiappa seemed to cycle the Winchester ammunition pretty reliably. Let's see how it does with the Federal.
Federal at the front feed.
Oh, dang it.
Jam.
Yep. Dang.
Jam. It's supposed to be broken in.
I'm liking the Federals.
Jam.
Look at that.
Do you hear that?
Stovepipe.
Yeah.
The Federal ammunition was absolutely incompatible with this rifle, so let's see how the PMC functions.
You ready? PMC.
That was a good hit.
Ow.
That's funny. Those PMCs burn a little different.
So we had
Last one
one
jammed.
stovepipe. That was the last one, right?
Yeah, it just jammed.
Okay.
The PMC had one failure to feed at the end. Let's see how this Tula ammo functions.
Oh, keep shooting. Well,
Took it down!
it's like the Old West.
Yep.
One jam at the end. That's weird.
And no test would be complete without a jacketed hollow point test using Hornady FPD defense ammo.
Finish it off. There you go. Good shooting.
Because of the more conical shape of these rounds, they cycled very reliably through this gun. But would you trust your life with a replica firearm? I think the concept of a 9mm replica rifle is a great idea. It definitely has a lot of advantages over a .22 caliber replica, but the idea only works if you're replicating a rifle that you normally wouldn't be able to get or be able to afford. Also, if you're going to replicate something, make the functionality the same as what you're replicating. You don't realize how much you miss something until you don't have it, and we're talking about the bolt lockback and the manual bolt lockback functions that a normal M1 carbine would have. Part of the enjoyment of owning a replica firearm is experiencing what the real rifle is like shooting. Although this does give you the looks, the weight, and the ergonomics of a real M1 carbine, that is where the comparison stops. I noticed that everyone I gave this rifle to test out was very excited to shoot it at first, but after they shot it, the excitement was gone. They weren't thrilled at all with it. And finally, what does this rifle cost? It'll cost you between $500 and $700. This makes about as much sense as buying a replica Ferrari with a Volkswagen engine stuck in it, but for the same price as a real Ferrari. The real M1 carbine was thoroughly tested before it even made it into service. And if you buy a real one, you're going to get that reliability, and you know its value will go up over time. It's entirely possible that the Chiappa M19's value will go up over time. Not because it's a great rifle, but because it was such a marketing flop. The fact that none of the big gun channels have even bothered to review this gun should tell you how little buzz there is about it.